Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
You hear it, don't you? It is here, whether you are ready or not. It comes for us all. There is no choice. There is no fight. You're lucky it took this long. So many others are not as fortunate, but you are here, and so is it. You know in your soul you deserve it. Sit down. There. Yeah, now cross your legs. Indian style. Yep, just like that. Put on the headphones. Those look cute on ya. Okay, you're ready. I'll see you on the other side. Now it's time for the Super Chevy Brothers podcast.
Welcome back to the Super Chevy Brothers podcast. This is episode 163 of the Super Chevy Brothers podcast. Today is June the 21st.
21st.
The
yes.
21st of June. Yeah. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey.
I thought you were still talking. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, no, that's it.
That's it. Okay, yeah.
I just say what the day is, and you guys take it along.
And then
we go from
talk,
there.
and then you don't say anything, right? I understand. You haven't played video games in 300 years. So I wouldn't expect you to start it. But yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, Mom, have you played a game this week?
So this week was a special week because we celebrated Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
Was that deflective enough?
You're alienating the white people. Don't do that.
Why?
They don't know what that is.
That's racist of you to say.
They
It's
don't
a
know
national
what that is.
holiday now.
Of
They know
course
what it
they
is.
It's a federal holiday.
White people outside of Texas don't know what that is. I saw a clip this week of a white guy in a mechanic shop or something trying to explain the holiday, and he said, yeah, it's something they made up a couple years back. I don't know. I think it's about reparations. White people don't know what that is. They don't know. They just think black people can be complaining. So they gave them something. That's what they think it is. They don't know what Juneteenth is.
I mean, sure, some people don't know, but this is America. This is a country about not knowing. So I'm sure some people don't know, but I'm sure most people have some kind of gist.
I'm sure most. I actually think they took a survey last year, and they found most Americans didn't know what Juneteenth was.
And that's the whole point.
Let's
Opal Lee.
Tell me one
but
thing.
Opal Lee made it her
Americans
mission.
know.
Right, that's true. They don't even know.
I remember
any American history.
Most Americans also can't read, so I guess that's not really.
They did it.
Most Americans.
It's still.
Most Americans can't pass the immigration test, and that's just
Well, that's it. That's a whole test. I mean, single.
That's the stuff, but that's the stuff you learn in school.
Yeah, that'd be kind of.
You should.
Funny.
That's that patriotic bullshit they teach you in school. So, of course, they may not all know, but at some point we have to. I mean, that's like another Independence Day, the true Independence Day for America, because once you alleviate slavery, although it was done 2 years before, and they were just getting the best out of it, that freed this nation. I mean, but everybody knows what the 4th of July is, right? Yeah, I bet they don't know what that really means either. No, it just means hot dogs and Uncle Sam, and they don't know what that really means either. But we're not here for that. We're here for a Super Chevy game playing shit. I know. I was trying to avoid the gameplay thing. That's all.
Well, Shamar, did you actually get around to playing something this week?
So I played the Neo. I finished the Neo demo. I did. So I played the Neo demo by myself, and I played it with Dan a bit. I don't know. Maybe we were in there for like an hour and a half, maybe. But it's fun. I mean, it's the co-op. It's still Neo. It's okay. You try to figure out how to play with your friends. There are like 3 different ways to play with your friends. You don't know the difference between any of them. Okay, that sounds like Neo. You run around, you kill things, you pick up so many weapons and colors and stuff. It's Neo. So yeah, it's Neo. But I like the open world aspect. I like the difference in the combat. I went through and I did in the last part of the demo. I mean, you can go there from the beginning if you want. You could just sprint to the end if you wanted to try. But in the game, there are these areas called crucibles, and the crucibles are basically, if you played the old Neo games, they are those kind of like those depth worlds where everything is demonized and there's lava and there's monsters around every corner. If you haven't played last Neo, it's a place where everything's demonized and there's lava everywhere and there's monsters around every corner. And so you enter this part of the world, but the rules change when you get to these crucibles. So small crucibles are like small gauntlets. You go in, the walls enclose you, they throw monster after monster at you. You have to kill them all, and when you kill them all, you can defeat the crucible. You get like a power or a power up, okay? But a major crucible is a much larger part of the map. So in the demo, it's this castle and the castle front, and it's been taken over by all the yokai, and you work your way from one Buddha statue to the next one. So whenever you die, of course, you go back to the shrine or temple, the last thing you touch. But in these areas, like I said, the rules change. So you go back to the Buddha statue, but you can't fast travel unless you're right next to them. So in the rest of the map of the game, you can fast travel to any shrine you found. Here, you can only fast travel when you're close to these statues. The statues also cure you of this ailment. It's a lot like Bloodborne, where you would go in the Chalice dungeons, and because you're in the Chalice dungeon, your health is halved. In this one, when you go in the Crucible and you get hit by a demon or damaged or anything, the maximum amount of health you have gets reduced every time you get hit. So you can of course heal yourself, but you only go up to 90% after the first hit, and then 75% after the second hit, or whatever it is. And the only way to cure that is to reach the next statue. So there are a lot of different rules. It's really fun. It's not that hard. I'd say the first Neo demo was harder. I'd say the second Neo demo was harder, but I think this one was more fun. The last boss is this snake grandma woman. She's got like, well, I wouldn't say snake. She's got like each arm is a dragon, and then her head is like a snake kind of thing. So it's like a Ghidorah kind of thing going on, but she's really angry. And when you beat that, it's like, oh, you beat it, you unlock that, and then the world opens up more, and you get more powers, and there's another boss after that you can fight. And it's fun. There's a lot of cool stuff in the world. Like the revenants that you fight before. Also, you guys don't have to let me talk for 8 minutes straight. You can
you're talking.
Yeah, but it's a.
I want you to get it out.
It's not a soliloquy, guys. We got to go back.
Sounds like one.
My experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Demo, and also things are so much better when you call attention to them. I just want to say that it's so good for as a listener. Especially somebody's been listening to the podcast recently. It's cool when the flow gets interrupted by Shavar being like, I don't like this. I played Neo 3, the demo. I spent a couple hours with it. My last experience with it was that I went to go kill a Kappa. I killed him. I made the poor mistake of pausing, died, tried to go back to get said Kappa, and then fell. And fall damage in this game is I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I died immediately and lost everything. So then I just stopped playing and said, I'll play the full game when it comes out.
That's
I was like, this is too painful. I'll get back to this later.
I had a similar experience, so I'll just wait until it comes out.
You had a similar experience with what?
Fall.
With fall? Just fall, that's what it's called. Okay.
The fall experience. When I fell, I couldn't get my footing back, and I lost everything. So
in the game that
just
you didn't play?
Shit. Just
what did you fall
things,
in?
Bro. She don't know what she's talking about, bro. She's trying to tag on to my little excuse. I played a couple other things this week. I don't know. I've been kind of stranded. I don't know where to play anything. I don't know what to play. I have a lot of indie games on my computer, so I think I'm gonna go try to work through some of those because I can't take it. I don't want to play another game that's like 80 hours long. I can't do it right now. It's just a lot. It's just a lot to try to work through a game like that. So I've been kind of poking around, still playing some Capcom Fighting Collection, still playing some Fatal Fury. But I started playing an older game that got remastered. So I'm playing this remaster that is also old now. But I played Odin Sphere. I finally started that. I hadn't really played another Vanillaware game. Well, that's not true. I played a couple of Vanillaware games before this. I played a lot of Dragon's Crown, and I played a lot of Masamune. Is that what it was called? I forgot what it was called, but it was one.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It's very similar to Odin Sphere.
Masamune.
I started playing. Mom, stop. What the fuck is she talking about? Okay, but anyway, played that for a few hours yesterday, and I feel like it kind of solved my problem. I need a game that is simpler right now. I feel like a Souls game would fry my brain right now because I'm not in the place for it. I thought about starting over Bloodborne or getting Liza P, and I was like, that doesn't sound fun to me right now, so I'll do something else. So right now I'm playing
Bloodborne and the DLC and all that.
No, because what happened was I was playing it at my own pace in college, and then my brother decided he wanted to play with me, and then he threw me somewhere into the game where I didn't know what the fuck was going on anymore, so I stopped playing it.
I can't throw you anywhere. That's how.
No. This is why I don't. Okay, so this is controversial because I know Sharada feels the exact opposite. I hate playing Souls games multiplayer for the most part. I think if you play it with somebody who's not in the same part of the game as you or something like that, or somebody who's just going to take you through everything, it is honestly one of the worst ways to play that game. Because when I played with Shavara when we're in the same kind of spot, it's great. It's fantastic. Playing that game with somebody who's already beat the game before and they just want to run through stuff is confusing. And then when they leave, you won't know what's going on anymore. Because I remember I was in my own game. I was doing my own thing. Shavara wanted to play. We played for about 3, maybe 4 hours straight. Next time I turned the game on by myself, I was in an area that I did not know how to leave. I didn't know where I was. I was not doing nearly as much damage as I thought I should be doing. And then I just didn't really know where to go because that's just not, the Souls games don't have like an objective list where they're like, go here and then go here. You kind of have to pay attention and know what's going on. So when somebody else comes in your game and is like, hey, let's just go this way. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. Okay, you grab this, get this umbilical cord, go grab this. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to platform. So you're going to drop here and then you're going to drop here and then you're going to go down here. There's a secret boss down there. And when you beat that secret boss, you're going to want to go here. It just ruined the game for me. So I need to restart it and play it from the beginning. It's a great game and I know that. But I know that with Souls games, multiplayer has to be a very small part of it for me, or else I will get taken to a part of the game that I don't know what the hell is going on. Because I get it. I might have been able to navigate out of that. I'm not blaming everybody else for it. I can't do that. If I play a game like that with somebody and they take me somewhere and I don't know how I got there because they were going through slapping everything and killing it, then, it's not enjoyable. So I want to go back to Bloodborne. Not right now, though. I'm not playing Souls games right now. I'm hearing myself, so I'm getting distracted. But
but I agree. Yeah. That's why I don't join in playing with you.
You don't play anything.
Here's the thing, okay?
What?
I didn't play anything.
I didn't take and slapdash you around. I took you to Canehurst, okay? Because
and that's not even where I'm talking about, by the way.
Where are you talking about?
I'm in some hell where everything is black and I can't tell where I am, and there's a bunch of monsters and there's no humanoid enemies at all, and apparently that's the critical path, or it's not the critical path. I don't know, Shavar. It's been years since I touched the game because we literally played together. I tried to get on after that, and then I gave up because I didn't know where the fuck I was going.
It's like a building and it's super dark, and then it's like
yes.
Okay, well, you're supposed to be there.
Okay, see, and that's what I'm talking about, listener. You're supposed to be there. I don't know why, and I don't know what that means.
We were just going along
people. I feel annoyed because people talk about Bloodborne like it's one of the greatest games of all time.
It is.
I kind of just have to sit there when they do that because I'm like, that's not how I experienced it. I did not experience it as the greatest game of all time. I played it for a while, enjoyed it, had a motherfucker come into my game, and then take me almost to the end, and then I didn't know what was going on.
You're not even close to the end. That's not even
exactly. I don't know that because I had a path I was going, and then you came in my game, and then you said, "Let's go this way," and I'm like, "Oh, sure." I don't know, and then you killed half the bosses for me, and then you left. That's not a fun way to play a game. That's all I'm trying to say. So I will go back to that game someday. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more interested in playing Lies of P at this point than I am Bloodborne because it's newer and. From what I've heard, it expands on those ideas a lot better, and it doesn't have multiplayer, which sounds fantastic. So, I don't know. I'll go back to it. Listen, I get it. Maybe I wasn't hardcore enough at the time. I should have told y'all that, but
it's not about being hardcore.
Like this has happened to me.
This happened to me with
Neo. It's almost happened to me with Neo as well, by the way. Just so
here's my perspective.
It's also almost happened to me with Neo.
Here's my perspective.
Neo's easier to follow.
It's like, okay, Bloodborne or whatever is out. Okay, let's play. So I already been playing however many hours in front of you. So I hop into your game. And it's like, okay, let's go. And then you're like, I don't know, let's go this way. And I'll trot along. And then eventually we'll get to it. Like we'll be walking and you walk right past the door. I'm looking at the door. I know what's behind it. I'm like, do I want to, maybe
does this sound easy to follow, by the way?
Maybe
if
you want to go through that door, and you keep walking past the door. You're like, I guess we can go through the door, and then we go through the door, and we go to the next part, and we get to the boss.
You see how we're not just playing the game? He's got to act like a guide or something.
I'm not acting like a guide. I'm sitting there. I'm Robined up. All right. I'm sitting there. I got my green tights on. I'm playing along, but I don't know. Sometimes maybe is Batman drunk right now? Do you not see that door right there, Batman? Then maybe we should go through the door, Batman. And now Batman thinks I'm trying to be Batman. I'm not trying to be Batman. I'm just being Robin. And then,
by the way, this is a total misrepresentation.
And then Batman and Robin get to the boss and like, okay,
misrepresentation.
Let's smack up this boss.
Slander.
Just slander. Then, I know I'm a little stronger. Well, the game scales you. I know I'm stronger, but I'm like, I'm not gonna smack it up too much. So I go and hit the boss, and then it's like a big chunk of hell. They're like, okay, let me back up a little bit so he can hit the boss a little bit, and then I see, oh, he might be dying. Maybe he's dead soon. Should I like go kill the boss so my partner doesn't die, or should I just let him die so he can get the experience of dying 20 times over?
A lot of explaining to wipe away the fact that I said that I don't like to play the game like that. It doesn't matter if it makes sense to you. I don't like to play the game like that.
I'm saying I think your perspective of what's happening there is not what's happening there. I'm not trying to guide you nowhere. I'm just playing the game. I'm just playing the game with you the same way I'd play if I were inexperienced. The only difference is that you perceive that, oh, he's way stronger and knows all the stuff. And I mean, it's a perception thing, dog. It's all perception.
Motherfucker said you perceive. Get out of here.
It's okay.
Which topic was that?
Anyway, Mom, we're talking about games for the week. You're doing a Shavar thing.
Oh, just
Don't
games. Okay.
Right, listen.
I'm with it.
Anyway, I was talking about Odin Sphere before Shavar reminded me that I didn't enjoy Bloodborne. But no, I'm like an Odin Sphere. I'll probably keep chipping away through that. That game's not short per se, but it is easier to play. It's a beat 'em up. If you play Dragon's Crown, you kind of know how that game plays. You can do a lot of air juggles. It's less restrained than Dragon's Crown. I'm not gonna lie. You can do stupid stuff in that game. I'm getting S rank on everything so far. I'm at the beginning of the game, so not a lot. Not like bragging or anything, because that doesn't mean anything, depending on how the rest of the game goes. But it's got multiple characters, multiple routes. I'm on the first route right now, so I'm trying to finish that, and I'll get through it. After that, I don't know, man. I think I have a lot of indies to play on my computer, so I'm gonna start carving through some of those because big releases right now are just not appealing to me at the moment. I need to take a break from gigantic games for a second. I said I was gonna play Death Stranding. I might still get around to that. Not at the moment though. I need to play some shorter stuff, especially as we have a Death Stranding story later that makes me crack up and makes me want to play the original one more. But yeah, that's where I'm at with these games. I'm playing what's enjoyable at the moment, and what's not enjoyable, I'm gonna leave until later because it's too many games. I feel like more so, like even more so than 10 years ago when I thought there were too many games. There's way too many games now. Like it's crazy. Like that's without counting indie releases. Like if you even just count like the AAA stuff or the AA stuff or whatever, it's so many games. So I'm not worried about keeping up with the new unless it's for the show or something. So yeah.
What do you think that's about? Having so many games, because I feel the same way about movies and TV shows. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah, I feel like movies with the streaming services, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen some shit movies these past few years. I think everything gets approved now because it can make a buck. I still will never forget that sometimes Netflix will tell people who have their are making movies under their production that characters need to describe their actions because they know that people aren't actually watching the screen when they're watching these movies. Like a lot of garbage gets put out in terms of like TV shows and movies now. And I feel like games, it's more so like we have a lot more studios, we have a lot more leeway. A lot of people are able to release games more often.
I mean, it's the exact same with the movies.
And also companies are gigantic. Like now the companies are bigger than ever. They can work on multiple games at a time. It's not like before where it's like this one company is working on this one game for X amount of years. It's like, no, we have the Souls guys are probably working on like 4 different projects right now. Like it's crazy. It's just too much.
Well, it's just because it's more accessible, so you have more people doing it. I mean, that's basically same with the movies.
It's the answer to everything.
It's
basically
easier to make a movie these days, so you have more movies. It's easy to get one out. Same with the games. I mean, people today knowing how to make games is 100 times as many as 30 years ago, or 10 times as many as 15 years ago.
You can make a game on your computer right now.
It's just, it's just more accessible, so there's more of it. And then as a consumer, especially from people who, lived before the internet, you used to be able to you could experience all the things or most of the things if you wanted to. Like you could watch every movie that came to the theater. You wouldn't even have to watch it in the theater. You could just go rent it, and you could be on top of every bit of pop culture.
Every bit.
With not minimal effort, but like you wouldn't have to like try super hard. But then, and the same with games, you could play every major video game release, whether you were a kid or an adult, and be versed in what's happening. Because there just was less of it and it was less accessible and fewer people making it. But today, it's changed, but our brains really haven't. At least for people our age and older, our brains haven't changed. We still feel like that's the whole thing of FOMO. I don't think we're going to have like... probably our generation has the most FOMO out of any generation because we're so used to being able to experience all the things and have what we think is an all-encompassing experience, when now it's almost impossible unless you spend 8 hours a day watching in front of a screen something all the time. So then younger people won't have that because they're going to be used to they're just going to be used to not knowing anything about anything. Everything's going to be always new all the time, like it is for young people, but it's going to be like that their entire lives. And so, it's just a feeling. And in reality, it's just more of it.
Scary.
It's not like there's more worse or more good or anything either.
It's just more. It's just more in general. I don't know. It makes it, to me, that has its benefits and stuff too, because now you can pick and choose what you pay attention to. Like there's whole worlds out there. You can just pick which one you want and pay attention to that. There's still stuff that pops up and is like big big, pop culture stuff. But I don't know. There's stuff that pops up that's big pop culture stuff that does not. I don't know. It seems like things that enter that zeitgeist kind of disappear almost as fast as they're like popular, because there's so much shit out there. Like, I remember when Orange is the New Black was like a big thing, because it was the first Netflix like it wasn't even the first series, but it was like their first big popular series. Now they put out TV shows every other day, and honestly, half of them are garbage. And it's like, that's just the case of things are being able to be made more. But then, some people enjoy those things. And then you have other things that are big blockbuster things like, HBO shows and stuff. But even those go away. Last of Us was the biggest thing since sliced bread. Season 2 happened. I barely saw anybody talking about it. So, like,
that's true. Our attention spans.
Well, I think part of it is also you have to also look at the world too. I mean, we had COVID and stuff during the first things, but also it's been like an election year.
Trapped.
It's like we're in that gap before and after an election where it's just no one really. It's like people aren't living normal lives right now.
Yeah, it's like when we were watching Tiger King and pretending it was good.
Well, Tiger King was entertaining. I don't know what good means, but it was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
But,
all right.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's fine. It's just you just gotta get used to it. I noticed everything was changing when my YouTube, like, YouTubers make these long documentary or like deep dives into something.
Yeah. Like
about 3 years ago, when I noticed all the deep dives were things that I already intrinsically knew from just living. Like,
here's this Mortal Kombat
being
deep
alive.
Dive.
Just being alive 20 years ago, these are things that
have you ever heard of Cartoon Network?
Or like, like stuff, or like or like, it's just,
what's the deep web? Like, just dumb shit. It's just like, I feel like I felt old about that too, when I was like, dude, I'm only like 29. Why am I seeing documentaries about shows I watched when I was 20? And people acting like it's like this deep thing. Well, no, that's not even the thing. It's not even like I'm old. It's like, what are we even talking about anymore? These things are accessible to you at the moment. Just go watch it. What?
Well, I mean, people are discovering things that have already been well-known.
Discovered. Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone. I mean, no, it's okay for people to discover things. I mean, that's how you make a documentary. You have something that's maybe not well-known, but has already been discovered, and maybe you do a little more discovery. But that's how you make a thing. But a lot of stuff today is stuff that's already well-known. It's just not in your circle, and so people will. I'm not. It's not acting. It's legitimate, but people will treat these things in the same way we used to treat like actual unknowns. So it's kind of interesting, but whatever.
Well, I think up to a certain point, before there were so many generations, X, Y, Z, LMNOP, and all that, and we had the boomers, and then there was something after that. I think the brainwashing, the algorithm was like one stream. And then when they saw it, may I? You have your theory, sure. I have mine. So when all these different generations and iterations of what they call generations come about, they see that it doesn't work for everyone, that they need something different. And you have this gaming generation, and you have people that need to be entertained constantly or they lose their minds, sort of thing. So then all these different algorithms were created to entertain and keep everybody, glued to a TV, glued to a game, glued to whatever. And so now there's so much content out there for everything that there's got to be something that draws your attention. And like you say, some of this stuff is repetitive. What do you call it? It just repeats over and over and over. But for some, it's brand new.
I don't know. I still kind of crack up because to this day, I think it's funny that my wife's little siblings,
repetitive.
They like to they like a lot of music from games they've never played, and it's not because the games don't exist. It's because they just don't play them because it's easier to just not play them and watch somebody else play them, or read the summary online and then play them.
I understand.
And it's games like Undertale, where the game is like $3 or $5, and you can finish it in an afternoon. So like I don't.
Well, that's a difference.
Just to add to your attention span thing. That's all, Mom.
Well, that's a difference in how people like consume these days. I don't agree with Mom about they made stuff for different people that need to be on the screen. That's not what happened. What happened was the internet happened, and when people the thing the internet did more than anything, two things was it provided a place to get information, and it provided a place to share information. And included in information is like creativity and doing those things. That's all that happened. There wasn't like a change in algorithm. The algorithm used to be everyone did the same algorithm because that's what worked.
Right.
And then when it didn't, they changed. It's like Batman came out in 1989, and then after that they tried to capture that again with the Phantom and the Shadow and all these things, and then it doesn't work because it's not Batman, and then you just go back to you change, and then what do we get? Mission Impossibles, and then we get 8 of those. It's just that was the algorithm until the internet came, and then people started being able to put their own stuff in. Then you had actual algorithms. Like there weren't algorithms before.
At least you agree with me partially. And it was probably the advent of the internet because,
absolutely.
I mean, at this point, there's
everything's
like
internet's fault.
There's nothing more addictive, heroin, cocaine, sugar, than cell phones. I mean,
I think my favorite thing about heroin. Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't know. I think heroin.
Well, last time I did heroin.
I will say, though, I do think it's funny how we started out this whole get off your phone thing as like being aimed at kids or whatever. It's everybody now. We need to stop doing the thing where we talk about teenagers or whatever. I see grown-ass men driving their cars hooked to Facebook or something, swerving around on the road.
All right, stop beating around the bush. Mom and Dad are on their phones constantly.
Yeah. I thought that was without saying.
And
I didn't think I had to mention
we go around to family time. And I sit down and I look to my left, and Dad is on one. He got one phone in his right hand on Facebook, and the other phone in his left hand on some radio station. And he's looking at one,
and they think they think that shit cool too.
He's cool. Sending it. And then I look over at his mom, and I hear her phone go ping, and then she's looking at Instagram on the thing, and everything zoomed in and big, and she's scrolling through. And like, you guys, you talk about us. I think the people who grew up with it are handling it better than the people who didn't.
I agree. I think that phones hit people above the age of X. I'm not gonna say what. Like crack hit black people in the 80s. That's what it
Okay, let me say this though.
Okay, if you're over the age of 40 and under the age of like 25, you are done.
Oh,
you are cooked.
Your brain is cooked.
You're excluding yourselves. That's all you're doing, and that's not true.
Well, I know how to put the damn phone down. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I'm glad you do, because there are a lot of people who don't. I mean, when I go to work, I have a little stand for my phone, right? And it goes in a corner. And the only reason I have it out at all is because, I'll just say this. My company doesn't realize that they don't pay for my phone. So they actually contact me through my phone. So, there is some business sense of having it there. But I can't sit there and scroll and go on the internet all day. I can't do that. Yet, when I walk out into the populace there, that's all they're doing. Their face is right there, or it's on their lap, and they think we can't see them, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Here's the thing. It's at work. It's kind of weird, but it's the phone, that phone screen, the black mirror as they call it. is the lowest common denominators.
That's what they meant.
Yeah, it's the lowest common denominators, like art or writing, or you get the dopamine without the doing anything. Like if you like drawing, or you like playing games, or you like writing, or you like, I don't know, sculpture, like you release those things in your brain, and it's like a supplement for a phone is like a supplement for dopamine. You just, all you do is look at it and just wait for it to scroll to the next thing, and you're getting all that brain hit. Kind of like people who like to buy Nintendo
like
Switch 2s. So let's get into.
Yeah, let's get into the news.
Did you guys?
Did you guys what, Mom?
Did you guys get that Tubi clip I sent you?
Did you get that thing I sent you? No, I didn't.
It was the most hilarious Tubi clip ever. I can't watch Tubi.
Where, when?
Well, it was about. I don't know what the movie was, right? But the clip was this woman returned from prison, apparently. And she comes to her ex-lover's home, and she's ready to start their life again. And she says, are you ready? Let's start our lives. And he goes, you were gone 5 years. I've already started my life over with someone else. And then a little girl runs out. And she goes, Daddy, Mom's looking for you. And then here comes Mom. And apparently they all knew each other.
Yeah.
Before the woman went to jail.
Oh, I've seen this before. Sashira showed me this before. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just end it there because I can't even talk about it. It was just the worst clip ever. And I couldn't stop laughing for like 10 minutes.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We should get a movie on Tubi.
Well, we could. We definitely could do that.
Everybody can.
Anyway, anybody can get a movie on Tubi.
So do I have to finish the story?
Fight!
I mean, you can finish the story. What happens to the woman who got out of prison, goes and see her ex, and he's already moved on with another woman and kid?
So
it takes about 2 seconds to explain.
The woman that he marries sort of taunts her, and she goes, the woman out of prison says, well, you promised me. And the new wife said, well, promises are made to be broken. So the jail person took out a shotgun and blew her away. And he says, you can't do that. So she blew him away. And the little girl says, I'm just a kid. And I gotta stop there. I cannot.
Okay. You really think this is so funny. Okay. Number one, Nintendo Switch 2 released. We knew it was coming. We saw it. It came out. And it is officially the fastest selling console, apparently. 3 million or 3.5 million.
What is okay?
It's out.
Before we continue, yes, Mom. We talked about it last week. So I have a question, Sure. Mm-hmm. What does this mean? What do you mean fastest selling? What do they mean by that? Like it sold the most within the first week or two than all the other consoles that did? Is that what that means? In their first week or two?
Yeah. So in the first, I don't even think. I think the first week, it was at 3.5 million, which is the fastest selling of any home console.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I still need to get one. I just don't. I don't know. Listen, all I would play on it at this point is Mario Kart and my old Switch games. And I'm good right now. So I don't know. I'll probably get it. I just got a job recently, finally. So I might waste the money on that. But
congrats.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay. Congratulations to them. I just want to know. I remember when they first announced this thing. And everybody was so like the prices, boo, the thing. And now it's like it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. It's sold like crazy. Every creator you see has it. I don't see anyone saying, "Oh, they can't get one." Everyone's got one in their hands. Lines out the door, like, to get them, and all the whining from 2 months ago seemed to dissipate it.
It's the new thing.
I just don't get. And also, I mean, I get it. Nintendo is Nintendo.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing, right?
I don't see.
What?
I just don't see how much. I don't see how there's so much fervor for this right now. Maybe a few years ago, okay, but right now,
it's a Nintendo console.
I know, but it's the best selling, fastest selling of all time in a week. That's kind of crazy.
I completely expected this. It's a Nintendo console. It still does not cost significantly more than the other consoles. Backwards compatibility is a huge factor. I know that PlayStation also has backwards compatibility. That's not what I'm saying. And I don't know. I just feel like Nintendo games will always be like crack. People will always choose the thing that is more family, quote unquote, friendly and can shut their kids up. And Nintendo has always been the answer to that for a lot of parents and families for quite a while. So I'm not surprised. I am kind of cracking up though, because there are no games for it. So I don't know if you saw this story, but third-party sales are abysmal on the Switch too right now. Only thing selling are first-party games made by Nintendo. Everything else is kind of not really selling as much, because it proves that like that's not why people buy these consoles, right? Like you can still buy them, play Cyberpunk and play Street Fighter. That's not why most people are buying this console, right? So I think that what this is that we're seeing once again how many people casually buy shit like this, because there are people who buy Switches who don't buy anything else. They don't buy PlayStations, and on top of that, the people who buy PlayStations, they also buy Switches because that's the one other console they'd like to have, because who cares about an Xbox, and they probably already have a computer. So it's about playing those games that they know they can't get anywhere else. And sadly, motherfuckers really like Zelda, they really like Mario, they really like Donkey Kong, even though it's not even out yet. So
well, here's the thing.
Listen, I am not surprised. I think people will always go for the thing that is most familiar for them. PlayStation has still been plagued by that dumb meme from X amount of years ago about PlayStation has no games, even though it hasn't been true since like 2009. So people still think that about it. They think that, you know, the Nintendo, you get it, and it's Mario Kart, baby. I feel like it appeals to the lowest common denominator, as it usually does. And people hear Switch 2 and they go, that's what I bought my 10-year-old or whatever, my 2-year-old, and now it's 10 years later, so now I can buy him another one. It's the second one. Cool. Who cares about a PlayStation 5? I am not not Nintendo will always have the fastest selling console.
No, but that's not true. They haven't always had the fastest selling console. I think that I think
they haven't since the
Switch wasn't the fastest selling console. The 3D, I don't know, maybe 3DS.
The 3DS was. The 3DS was very successful. Yes.
Yeah, but since the 3DS, how many things have we had come out from Nintendo that wasn't the fastest selling thing? I just think it's kind of. I'm not against it, you know. I get it. Donkey Kong looks great, and Mario Kart World. It's the first time we've ever had an open world game in the history of video games. I understand it, but I don't know. To me, it's just. I think it
just doesn't appeal to you. It doesn't appeal.
It's not that it doesn't appeal. I want to play Donkey Kong, but
Shavar, if it appealed to you, you would have had a Switch 1. You never even got a Switch.
That doesn't make no.
So it doesn't appeal to you.
No, that's not true.
If Lamborghinis
appealed to me, I don't have one of those.
Shavar, I think this is a very basic
heroin
thing.
Appeals to me. I don't have any of that.
Once again, okay, the old jokey joke. If you cared that much about playing those Nintendo games, you would have bought the. Why do I keep hearing myself? I forgot what I was saying. If you had
I got what you're saying.
In those Nintendo games, you would have bought the console. Like you would have.
No, that's not true. Period. No, that's not. That's not true.
No, Shavar. Okay. Am I crazy? If you want to play something that bad, you will buy the thing to play it. Is that not true? Does that not, am I did I just get hit in the head 5 seconds ago? What are you talking about? How is that not logical?
Okay, would I like to, I don't know, go to Disney World tomorrow?
God, these fucking
Look, I'm not going to.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
you don't
not
want to that much. If you wanted to go to that bad, you would get the money together and go do it. I'm not arguing with you about this. This is how logic works.
No, but you can.
I wanted to play the Nintendo games. I wanted to play the Nintendo games. I wanted to play the Nintendo games, so I bought a Nintendo Switch and played it. You're telling me that you want to play the Nintendo games, yet you didn't buy it and play it, and you have bought multiple consoles. Since the Switch came
stop
out.
Saying the same thing over and over again.
One of them,
and just let me talk too. Hold on, chill,
and let you finish your thought. Right? Okay, I'm gonna take my headphones off.
You keep saying the same. You keep telling me.
I wanted to express an opinion. My opinion is that this is come in at the same price as the first Switch, $299.
No.
How much?
It's $450, like we discussed 3 months ago.
Oh no. Okay. Well, that throws my theory out the window. Never mind.
Here's all I'm saying is I don't want to hear any more complaining about Nintendo does this or that or overcharges for this or that or because they're gonna buy it anyway. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna suck it up.
It's Nintendo. Yeah, they're Nintendo. It's about complaining. Now, would this have happened if the console price would have actually raised as much as people were predicting it would have to like possibly 500 something for the base console and possibly almost 600 for the one with Mario Kart? I don't think it would have been the fastest selling. Would it have still sold? Absolutely, 100%. But
yeah,
also,
I don't
feel
think
like
there's
the
anything
difference
that
is
can
that
stop
Nintendo also had the supply. Nintendo also kept the supply up because the reason that the PlayStation 5 wasn't able to do shit like this is because you couldn't fucking find a PlayStation 5 when those came out. You can walk outside right now and go find a Switch 2. It's not hard to get them. You can go to the first couple days maybe. Now we're a couple weeks out. Walk into Best Buy and just go grab one, or walk into Costco and just go grab one. Yeah, like now it's the supply is available, which is a problem that we had with one of the last consoles that launched, a PlayStation. So yeah, I'm not arguing about whether you want to do something or not. I will hold my very logical fact that if you like something that much, you will buy it.
Well, Shavar
does not like Nintendo games.
Okay, see, do you see how A does not equal B?
Can we go?
If you like something,
can we go to the next topic?
If you like something this much, you will get.
I don't see how what I'm saying is wrong. I don't know why
if you
you're
don't understand how that
I feel like
A
what I'm
doesn't
saying
equal
is
B,
perfectly logical.
Then that's okay.
Oh
hey, if you don't get it, that's fine.
No,
I
tell
think
me
it's
what I
very
do
clear.
and don't understand. Go talk down to somebody else like that. Like that's
I'm not
weird.
talking down.
I feel like what I said perfectly normally, perfectly clearly, and you're trying to argue with me as if it's something to argue about.
Well, you didn't. First of all,
you liked Nintendo. Oh my God. Okay, next topic. You keep interrupting
Next topic.
me. Jesus fucking Christ.
Dude,
we don't have to do the
Fuck
effing.
you. Next one.
Hey, next topic.
God
Move on.
Dude. It's like actually getting really frustrating. I feel like the last 2 episodes, I will start talking something. You think I'm stupid, so you don't let me finish it. And it's really fucking annoying. So I'll start the next topic.
If I can be honest with you, you keep on going with it. Like, you'll do it for like a whole minute.
You walked away. Start the next topic.
And then you don't let anyone else talk. It's kind of, okay.
Round 2. Fight.
So speaking of more Nintendo jabberish, we got a trailer and a whole Nintendo Direct for Donkey Kong and the Banana Diamonds. What's it called? Donkey Kong. It might even be called Donkey Kong. Hold on. It's called Donkey Kong Bonanza. And I watched the whole Direct, and they have a lot of puns, a lot of combinations of words, very banana oriented. I'm not a big fan of Donkey Kong's new look. He looks a little San Franciscoan to me.
You ain't gonna buy this game, so why are we even talking about it?
It's news.
You ain't gonna buy it. I'm surprised you put this on here. You ain't gonna buy this.
Okay, but
do you even know anything else that they talked about in the game?
I watched the whole thing. I watched the Direct.
He watched all that. He ain't gonna buy a Switch 2. That's crazy.
So because I watch, I must buy. This is crazy. I gotta write these down.
But you're not gonna play
this.
It.
Is like Confucius stuff.
Okay.
You're not gonna play this. You're a guy who
this
has
is not fun today.
You're a guy who has a video game podcast who doesn't play video games.
What's the guy?
Yeah, Donkey Kong looked great. I feel like it's like kind of a spiritual successor. Not spiritual successor. It's basically a sequel to Mario Odyssey, another game Shavar didn't play. But it looks really good. I'm kind of mad because this should have been a launch title. And I think it's kind of interesting they gave it a month between release of the Switch and a release of this. I feel like that's very interesting. I feel like they could have just let the console come out later and they would have had another launch game. Because there's no launch games. Like, the only launch game is Mario, as far as Nintendo is concerned. So...
Well, I mean, I think but maybe they need a little time to cook it into your brain. I mean, look, DK looks different. I just, he looks different. You got to sell me on it. The game looks. It looks Nintendo-y.
Like 2 years ago, like we've seen this Donkey Kong for a couple years now. Like it's not.
This is not.
He's
DK.
from the movie. It's the one from the. It's the one from the movie that we saw several years ago. Like he's there. They had to redesign him because his old design was honestly very outdated, and it was the old Rare design from when Rare used to own Donkey Kong. So they needed to refresh it. And I think it looks it basically looks the same.
I feel like
it's just I feel like it's nitpicking to say he looks that much different. He does look different, but it's not like
what movie are you talking about? Like there's a Donkey Kong movie?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm asking you. I'm
trying
to figure out.
No, I'm not going to answer the question. I'm not going to answer the question for you. What movie do you think?
I don't.
What Nintendo movie came out within the past 5 years, Shavar?
With this Donkey Kong? I don't know.
That Mario, Shavar?
But he didn't look like this in Mario.
Shavar? Yes, he did. I'm literally looking at screenshots right now. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
What do you mean he didn't look like that? That's exactly how he looked. They redesigned him for the movie. That's the whole point.
Horror movie.
Oh my god.
Donkey Kong. I just want to check. Maybe I'm misremembering how Donkey Kong looked. Yeah, that's not how Donkey Kong looked. He looked like
he looks exactly the same. What are you talking about?
What are you Biko? All right,
I'm literally looking him. I'm literally looking at him right now, Shavar. It's the same design.
So you're looking.
It's the same
Mom,
design.
Are you looking at the Discord? Are you doing?
I
that?
refuse to look.
Please.
I see it, but I refuse.
Okay.
To look.
This is Donkey Kong from the Super Mario movie.
I have nothing to say.
It's the same. It's the same Donkey Kong.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's the same one. I don't like. I'm sorry if your eyes don't work. It's literally the same one. It's the same render. Nintendo
Can we just
came
be
out
fair?
and said it's the same render. It's literally
Can we
the
just
same
be fair?
one.
Okay, Mom, just look at the Discord. I have a picture of the new Donkey Kong Bonanza Donkey Kong, which is this guy. You see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the Mario movie Donkey Kong.
He's taking a specific picture of him making a specific face.
Well, fine. Look at this one. It's a similar face. This guy.
Exactly the same, Shavar. That was the whole point of them.
They
talked about this in interviews. They introduced him in the movie like that because they needed a new design. Then they carried that design over to the new game. They have discussed this. It's not an opinion. It's a fact.
Can you bring it down? You think that? I think the other. I'm asking Mom as a third party.
All right, I'm cutting
from
out
what you see. What do you think?
I think we should change the name of the title of this show to Super Argumentative Chevy Bros.
That's what I'm saying. He just wants to argue.
I hate that
he just wants to argue. I can't say something that's a fact. He has to make everything a debate. I literally told him
it's not a debate. Okay,
based on the movie, and then he's going, "It doesn't look the same. It doesn't look the same, though."
Okay. Let's not.
Right, yeah, I'm definitely cutting out hard 10:45. I was gonna try to do the whole thing, but you actually kind of
That's ridiculous. That is purely we can't. No one can argue with what you're saying, or else they're being
it's not the
argumentative.
It's the interrupting.
You argue,
literally
it's
everything I say.
Expressing. Okay.
No, it's the fact that
Donkey Kong in this game looks exactly like Donkey Kong
podcast,
from the movie. That's true. That's it. You're right.
Yes, he does. Because that's the point. That's the entire reason they redesigned him, was to look like the one from the movie.
Yep, he looks exactly like it.
They're similar.
Yep.
Can we move on?
What did you think of the game?
Oh, it's enjoyable. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay. Just enjoyable. That's it. No
That's
mechanics.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
What is it? 3! Yeah, that's a magic number.
She talking about argumentative brothers. At least we know what the topics are. Christ.
But I don't argue with you.
Anyway, Uncharted, whatever. What is this?
We got a new game announced. Blood Message put out a trailer. You watch the trailer. Lately, most of the Chinese games that have come out have been just Souls clones of some sort. Even just the Chinese themed ones. So like Wolong, which is Japanese, but it's Chinese theme. Or what's the one with the monkey man? Wu Chang. They all have very similar names. What's the name of the monkey man one?
I don't know.
No one knows the Monkey Man game.
Nope.
Monkey Man game. Monkey Man?
Okay.
I know the name of it. I'm just gonna let him struggle.
Oh, help us, Pico.
It's Wukong. Jesus Christ.
Wukong,
That's it.
Wolong. We got another one coming out called Wu Chang. I mean, they all kind of have similar names. They all kind of work the same way. But there's a new Chinese game. I'm assuming this is China because it's NetEase, right? I'm assuming they're publishing it there. But a new Chinese game. This one, not Souls-like. Watching the trailer, it seems much more like... I mean, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is Chinese Uncharted. And it's almost exactly that. The combat... I mean, there are no guns, from what I can tell. But the combat looks like Uncharted close combat. The puzzles they're doing, the cutscenes, the running. There's a lot of running in the thing. It's a Chinese Uncharted, and it looks pretty good. I thought it looked decent. They showed a lot of gameplay.
So there's no guns?
Well, it's in like 180 or something, so no.
No guns.
No guns.
Is that because of the Buddha that's in that picture?
No, it's because it's 180.
What are you talking about? What are you
Because there weren't
about?
guns at the time. What do you mean? Is Buddha anti-gun?
Yes, absolutely.
Why do you assume that? That's. I think that. Why would you assume Buddha would be anti-gun?
Because he's smiling and there's nothing under his robes. He doesn't have any guns hidden.
Joke.
But you don't know that.
No, I mean, it's Zen and Buddha and
You can't
know,
be
calm.
Zen with a gun.
No, God,
I think
no.
Steven Seagal would have something to say about that. Okay.
I have nothing to say about that person.
Look at Shavar playing audio. Yeah, no, I it looks good. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't have anything.
I like that concept. No guns. I
looks
like
fine.
That.
What is Mom's just? Mom, can you do me a favor? Can you actually play a freaking game next time?
Sure.
This is crazy. You don't read the topics. You don't play a game. It's crazy.
Oh, so turn on Mom now. Is that what's happening?
No. This has been something that's been building the last few episodes.
All right, so
Listen,
get
we
over
already
it.
went our whole lives not caring about our hobby. Can you do it for the podcast at least?
Not caring, but funding your hobby.
You haven't funded.
Is that how that works?
You haven't bought me a single game in 20 years, Mom. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Who bought you your first one? Get over yourself. Okay.
Yeah, it's still cool having a podcast where one of the hosts does not give a single fuck about anything happening.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Just not a single fuck. So Death Stranding 2 coming out soon. I'm gonna play the first one, whatever. I saw this headline. I thought it made me laugh. It was really funny. Hideo Kojima said he made significant changes to Death Stranding 2 because playtesters thought it was too good. He literally thought that they were having too much fun and that they weren't running into enough problems. So he was like, I don't like that. They said that they really like the game, so we're going to switch it up because he wants to make something that's a little more difficult that quote unquote, I want people to end up liking things they didn't like when they first encountered it, because that's when you really end up loving something. Listen, I know people like to call this man pretentious. I think that makes perfectly good sense. It sounds insane, makes perfectly good sense, because Death Stranding 1 looked weird as hell playing it, but apparently everybody loved it, even though it's basically UPS Man the game. So,
I mean, I thought the headline was cute. I think I mean I understand what Kojima's saying, but also I mean I think as like an artistic thing that he wants to be unconventional and make people think and feel and struggle with things in different. I get that, but people don't consume, like we were talking about earlier, people just don't consume media the way they used to. Being super artsy is just going to make people like your game 10 years from now and not now. Like being super unconventional is going to make people who revisit your game later in a different mindset. It's going to be like, it's what makes things, cult classics or whatever, but nobody watched them when they first came out. I get it. I understand what he's doing, but I just want the game to be good and fun. If it's so great that everyone's loving it, maybe like keep it that way.
Yeah, that's not his style though.
And we don't understand exactly what feedback he was getting. Were they talking about like gameplay or story or whatever? We don't know. But
yeah, he just wants it to be a struggle in some respects. He doesn't want it to just be a breeze, is what I get out of that. And I kind of get it. I think that's fun.
We'll see. The game's out soon. I got to play the first one.
A week or two.
Yeah, it'll be out. It looks fun. I mean, it looks interesting. And like watching the trailers, like I want to see what playing that is like. But we already know what playing Death Stranding 1 is like, but I don't know. This is 2. Like what, we'll see. We'll see. Mom, any Death Stranding comments?
Oh, I've got 5 good reasons for you to shut up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Yeah, just nothing. Mm-hmm. All right. New topic. WB has gone under some restructuring. Mom, let me know if you have anything to say about this one. Warner Bros. Restructures and division centered on core franchises. Long story short, they shook up some of the top players at WB after they killed Mortal Kombat 1 and had several other failures in the past couple of years, including Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad. They have promoted a few people and moved some people around. So the Montreal studio head has been promoted to senior vice president. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the NetherRealm guys, Sean Hemrick from NetherRealm Studios has been promoted to senior vice president of development. So they're both in development, but the first one's at Montreal, the second one's at main Warner Bros. Games. So he'll be in charge of Mortal Kombat and DC titles, and overall the company's going to focus on 4 properties: Mortal Kombat, DC, Harry Potter, and Game of Thrones. Those are the 4 properties they're going to focus the most on. So all this said to me is that they're trying to maybe change the perspective that some of the higher ups have about it by hiring some of the people who've been closer to that stuff. Sean Hemrick has been with Mortal Kombat since Deadly Alliance. And also signals to me that they're not giving up on Mortal Kombat quite yet. I don't think we're going to get a Mortal Kombat game soon. I think it's still about 4 or 5 years off, but maybe even 3 or 4 years off. But yeah, it looks like they're trying to make sure that they focus back on those specific games. So I feel like they're kind of moving people up to where they kind of should be, who oversee things that they've actually worked with, rather than just having guys under Zaslav, who's still CEO, sadly, who also don't know what they're doing. So this could be good. It could be good for Mortal Kombat. I don't think it's like a sure thing, but it's also like, okay, well, they're going to focus on it. Mortal Kombat game comes out soon too. So Mortal Kombat movie comes out soon too, the second one, which has been, the pre-screenings have been going pretty good. actually. People seem to really like the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie compared to some of the test screenings for the first one, so that's kind of good. That's good to know. But yeah, they switched some stuff up there. Now we have a NetherRealm guy over the game stuff that has to do with Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat should be getting more love and hopefully won't get put in the toilet as fast as it can like they did with Mortal Kombat 1.
Well, I mean, I got two questions. One, what is a senior vice president? I mean, doesn't all of that, isn't that just completely contradictory? Like, is there another vice president he's over? And then what about the president? Like, if you're the senior vice president of development, I don't care who's the president and who's the junior vice president. These are things I'd like to know. And number two,
it means there's too many levels and structures. That's all.
I just need to know what it means. If you tell me, I'm the vice president, I'm like, oh. If you tell me I'm the senior vice president, I'm like, what's that mean?
Sometimes
I don't get it.
It's just a title, vice president. It's just a title, and they don't.
Well, I'm more like the senior part.
I know they're more like a project manager, and then
the president left. There is no president right now.
And then the senior vice president just makes more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
And then the president does nothing.
No one else does this. So
because
I don't know if this is a good idea.
Vice presidents.
I can't think of any other.
So wait, what part are you confused about? I don't know what part you're confused about.
About the vice president thing or the restructure?
The vice president thing, yeah. I don't know how you don't get those two vice presidents.
You've got CEOs, you have presidents, you have vice presidents, and you have everything else under that, okay? And other CFOs, whatever. I think the structure of those and what they do is pretty clear. But then when you start throwing in, he's the president and then the senior vice president, in my mind, I'm like, okay, so there is
no regular vice president.
So there's not. So he's just the vice president then.
No, he's the senior vice president.
No, they're the senior vice presidents. Sure. I think this is.
What's the difference between a senior vice president and vice president?
It doesn't matter.
He's over the other vice president.
Yeah, so how come you guys are so adamant?
One guy's
job. He's not the vice president. He's the senior vice president.
He is the vice president. He's just a senior vice president.
It doesn't matter. The point is that one guy's over Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. The other guy is over DC and Mortal Kombat. That's it.
Okay.
There's
one more question. Can you explain the senior part to me?
No, and I don't want to.
He just makes more money.
Okay, I like the no part first. But he makes more money than who? If he's the only vice president.
The vice presidents. I didn't say he was the only vice president.
You just told me there's no other vice president.
Biko said that. No, I didn't say that. Biko said that.
Okay, so we have conflicting information here. Okay. I don't know if this is a good idea.
Okay, let me give you an example. They split off into two parts, right?
Yeah.
So each of those two parts do have vice presidents. So the senior vice president is over all of those vice presidents. And he gets the last say over vice presidents. And the president trumps the senior vice president.
But they have two senior vice presidents.
Well, they have one for each side then.
Okay, well, here's the...
I'm trying to see their most recent structure. Hold on.
I don't know if dividing everything into franchises is the best way to go. I don't know if any of the other studios or, companies do that. I don't know if, Sony does that. I don't know if Disney does. I don't know if Disney has a games division. I don't know.
Depends how deep their pockets are. That's all.
I don't know if anyone else divides their gaming subdivision into franchises as opposed to just an entire division going over different developers. So I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know if it'll work. I know the reason they're doing it is because it didn't work before, because WB is just really bad at games. I think,
and frogs.
I mean, frogs
and frogs.
Yeah.
Really bad.
I just don't know how I mean, before when they were doing this, they're like, we're going to focus on Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Mortal Kombat, and Batman. And so far, the only change I see here is DC. And now you have 2 senior vice presidents. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe things will get better. It sounds like the people in charge now are people who actually connected to the games. That's great. But I don't know. I don't like what they did with my... I mean, I liked Mortal Kombat, but they clearly didn't give the game enough game that, like, what the casual people like. So, you know, that didn't do well. Harry Potter did well, but I think it was well received for the most part, but it kind of came and went. Game of Thrones, there's that one game that's coming out soon, right? That's it. And DC, who knows? I mean, their multiverse thing that died, went away, came and gone, shut down.
It's the next NetherRealm fighting game. That's what the next DC thing is.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what it is. Good luck to them. I hope they don't screw the pooch this time. But that's a weird saying. Who brought that up? Who made that?
What?
No, you brought it up.
Screw the pooch.
All right, let's hurry up.
Some disgusting person. But I still hold to what I said. The senior vice president runs all the little vice presidents.
Well,
and he reports to the CEO and the president.
Okay. All right, next topic.
Okay,
I guess we're not doing audio.
What do you mean audio?
What do you think I mean, Shavar?
If that's a topic, let's just do it.
Not 6.
Thank you. Jesus Christ.
I said 7. Nobody's coming up with 6. Who works out in 6 minutes? You won't even get your heart going, not even a mouse on a wheel.
All right, so Marathon is under quite a bit of trouble. Sorry, I think I might have leaked the wrong article in the thing. Marathon's delayed indefinitely. It's supposed to come out this September. Marathon, if you don't know, is an old Bungie franchise that was being brought back after Bungie was bought by Sony, and Sony bought them to be like, hey, can you tell us how to do this live service thing? So it's delayed, and they have been kind of bullshitting about why it's delayed. They keep saying that it's because, we need to make improvements to the game, and the game needs to change. They're not being honest. So we didn't talk about it, but a couple weeks ago, Bungie got in a lot of trouble because they were found to have been stealing their assets from a very specific artist, to the point where some of the textures in the game had the artist's signature on it. So somebody who worked at the company was really just ripping this person's art and using it in the game without crediting them. They never reached out to the person, they never asked them to work on it, and they stole literally their whole art style. So the art style of Marathon, like the actual game itself, was basically ripped off from this person. So they have not been able to actually show the game itself in a minute. The person said that they're not even going to do legal action. They said that they're not worried about that because they probably can't afford it. But what happened is that I think what's happening is that they have to basically go through the entire game and fix everything. So they lied, like this article is showing us, they lied and were like, well, we have to fix the AI, and we have to make sure that solo queuing works and that queuing with 2 people works, and we want to make sure we give you guys game modes. That's not what's happening. I'm sure that's part of it, because people said that the game didn't play well either when the playtest happened earlier this year. But the big thing is that a lot of textures in the game are literally stolen, like are plagiarized. So I think between that whole fiasco, that whole controversy, and the fact that the game was not very good, I think that they just are tabling it for now. There's no reset release date, which is kind of scary and funny. But yeah, that's where they're at right now with that game. Is Bungie is in their 2nd plagiarism lawsuit within the last couple of years, because if you recall, we talked about another lawsuit they were in some months ago, where a writer was able to kind of pinpoint that they kind of stole a fanfic that he wrote that was another storyline. Yeah, they stole the villain from that and made it the villain in Destiny 2. So between that and this one where they just had somebody steal artwork and they pinned it on one guy, they said that the guy who did it may not work there anymore, or doesn't work there anymore. But yeah, this game is kind of, I think it might be DOA. I don't even know if when it comes out people will care about it, but the press around this game has been abysmal because it's just plagiarism and people saying that the game sucks. So it's delayed indefinitely. We don't know when this game will come out now.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
It works in their favor. The game wasn't being as it's from Bungie. Right?
Plagiarism in a poorly made game work in their favor?
In delaying it, yeah. Because
so they should be thankful that the guy plagiarized stuff.
Kind of. Because
that doesn't make any sense.
I'm trying
You're
to
just saying shit.
Let me
go ahead.
Let me say stuff.
Say stuff.
Before the latest plagiarism round was coming out, I think people who were playing the game, especially like your communities of people that, like your YouTube creators, these people, they weren't very up on it. They weren't telling people, oh, it's interesting to see or play. It's interesting to, like, these spokespersons for shooters were pretty down on the game. Even ones that hadn't played it. I mean, right now, Bungie's reputation is not great as a AAA studio, and what they did with Destiny and how it's just not great. And I think if they did release this game, let's say there were no plagiarism accusations within it, I think it would flop just because the taste for it is just not there from them. This is a chance to indefinitely delay it. I mean, timing's everything. They can come out with this a year from now when the climate's different. People's perspectives on things have changed. I mean, people aren't objective when they look at these
They said the
things.
same thing about Suicide Squad, by the way.
People aren't objective when they look at these things. They like a flow. People like being in a certain circle or category, and how those circles talk about it. They don't like to go against those things. It just might be best to release it later. It might be good for them. It might be.
So people are smart enough to think for themselves, so they don't have honest opinions about this.
People don't think for themselves. I mean, we all know that. We just talked about it. People don't think for themselves, but as a
it's not possible this is bad press because they literally stole something. Is that not possible?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this might be an opportunity for them to turn bad tides into better tides. Future. That's all.
I don't know how you shake. I don't know if within a year you can shake the stink of last time we heard about this game, all of its assets were stolen.
Because everything moves so fast. So next time you hear about it, somebody's gonna have a documentary like, do you remember this game had plagiarism? Half the people will forget because most people don't care in the first place. We didn't even mention the guy's name of the stuff that was stolen. No one really cares. It's timing
because they don't know. Sure, they haven't released. They haven't. What do you mean we don't know the guy's name? His name is in the article. If you care to know,
but that's what I'm saying. We didn't even mention it. Because we don't care.
Because that part doesn't matter as much.
Exactly.
Okay. I guess you're doing your philosophical, people are stupid, I'm smart thing. Okay.
I'm not doing that. I'm just saying this might be good for the company.
I don't think getting caught plagiarizing and having your game be called shit is good for your company. Once again, we've had games delayed. We've had games delayed ad nauseum with bad press and leaked footage. And people saying this game sucks, and then those games still came out, and guess what? People still thought the game sucked.
And we've had games that have been delayed, and then they come out, and they're better, and people like them.
Yes, that is true. That does happen.
So
I don't think this is the case with. I don't think this is the case with this game.
Sure, but this could be the case.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I have no clue what this game is. I've been seeing so much about this game. I have no clue what the game is. So
I know because you don't read gaming news or watch anything.
I do. No one talks about the game. They always talk about everything wrong.
They had a whole presentation where they had like 30 minutes of gameplay. But yeah, no. And there's been multiple people who played the game and streamed it, and there's hours of gameplay to watch.
Exactly.
I've watched it. It doesn't look impressive to me. It doesn't look very good.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly what I was saying. All right. Well,
what? I can't watch something. Okay, I'm out. Y'all have a good time.
What do you mean you can't watch something?
Thanks for listening. Appreciate y'all.
Okay. Well, that's the news for today. Mom, you got any recommendations before we wrap this one up?
Well, I started watching an interesting TV show, The Better Sister. Did you hear about that?
I saw a poster or something. The little ads they put on the TV when you turn it on.
So it wasn't as if I was really drawn to watching it. It's just that I was flicking through and I said, well, let's just see what one episode is about. And I have gotten through 4 at this point. So it's really interesting. It's a murder mystery and it's a lot of family stuff involved. So I would recommend that you watch it. I haven't finished it, but I will finish it because I'm intrigued by the characters. They're a lot of fun. They're interesting. And that's my recommendation.
What is it?
It's a series.
Oh my God, Mom.
You don't want me to give it away.
I'm going to recommend ABC. It's a TV show. I watched it. Go watch it. Like, this is what you
Don't take your angst out on me. Listen,
I got
this is a show about 2 sisters, okay? And you're really trying to figure out which one of them is the better sister. Because at first you think it's one sister. You're like, oh, she's so much better. The other one's a drug addict. But then you find out that sister's not so great herself. It's a really intricate web woven about love, sex, family, raising kids. It's kind of crazy. But the murder mystery it's not, it is a murder mystery. But one of the sisters' husbands is killed. If that helps.
Okay. Thanks for at least giving us crumbs of what the show is.
I wanted to give you something, but it turns out both sisters were married to the same man, not at the same time.
Oh, see, now you're going too far.
It's a nightmare.
Before. Now you're going too far.
Oh, you'll find that out in the first. No, you'll know at the first episode.
Yeah, that's
not the part.
Uh-huh.
You want a crumb or you want the cake?
I wanted the crumbs, and you've decided to.
Okay, next time I'll just give a slice.
Costco it. Just a little sample.
Okay.
Point to the bag. Tell me the price, and then look at the next person. Okay.
Did we ever talk about Mission Impossible?
No, we didn't. I haven't watched it yet. So.
You gotta go see it. I do recommend it, by the way.
Right, I'll go watch it. When I get time, okay? I'm busy. I have no day where I don't have things to do. I'm busy, okay?
Okay, busy. All right, ridiculous.
I recommend Mobland. I just finished that yesterday.
Mobland.
Got Tom
That's
Hardy
a great
Pierce
story.
Brosnan and who's the old lady? Helen Mirren.
Mirren, yes.
It's fun.
What's the old guy?
It's not super fun, but it's if you like mob stuff.
What's the old Bond? What's his name?
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah. If you like that stuff, the show's fun to watch. It's interesting. The story is. It makes you want to.
If you like Peaky Blinders, is that it? Peaky?
I don't know. I haven't watched Peaky Blinders.
Oh, if you like that, you'll like this too.
I finished it. I liked it. They left it in a way where you don't know if there's more or less or whatever. So we'll see if there's a season 2. But I liked it. Kalanka watched the whole thing yesterday, I think. So
if it's not a season 2, that's okay too.
Sure. Thanks for listening to the show. This has been episode 163.
Well, just fuck me then, I guess, right?
Oh, I thought you said you were running away. Okay, what do you got to recommend?
Play Odin Sphere. Watch Invincible.
I'm glad you
It's
didn't
good.
leave, by the way.
We're glad.
Odin Sphere and
yeah,
what?
that's and Invincible. I really like Invincible. It's good.
Oh, how far did you get in the show?
I'm on season 2 now.
It wasn't season
Invincible.
1. Wasn't that an enjoyable experience?
What is Invincible? Can I get a crumb?
It's a superhero show. It's animated, but it's from the same guy who made The Walking Dead. So I don't want to spoil too much, but it's very grounded, very gritty superhero story. Very good. You should watch it. But Mom probably heard that it was a cartoon and immediately got turned off. So
Yeah, I kind of did. Yeah.
Just like everything else I care about. Yep. All right. Count sounds good. You guys have a good week, everybody.
All right.
All right. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll see you next time.
Bye.